Hello, welcome. I'm Marina Orms, the founder of Astrology Heals at astrologyheals.com. And this week I want to talk to you about what's going on with those planets. So we've been talking a lot about Capricorn energy. We have some outer planets moving through Capricorn. And the significant thing that's happening this week is that three planets, Saturn, Jupiter, and Venus, are all stationing retrograde, deciding to slow down and change directions to go retrograde. And that just means they're going the opposite direction in the zodiac from the way that they normally move. Of course, planets in the solar system orbiting the sun do not change directions. They continue in a continuous orbit. But from our perspective here on Earth, because the Earth is also moving, to us, we see the planets appear to move backward. Some of the planets appear to move backward from our perspective in the context of the stars and the distant sky that we see, which is the zodiac. So as planets reach that point where they begin to slow down, stop, and change directions, we call that a station. They're stationing to change directions and go retrograde. So as planets go retrograde, their energies move inward. And so what that means is that things that you've been experiencing in the outer world, in your experience of what's happening outside of you, the focus shifts from the emphasis being on what is outside of you to your own inner process and how you're processing and digesting information, how you're working with it, how you're changing internally, how you're learning and growing and healing and attending to your needs on the inside. And that's the invitation of a retrograde period. And as with all astrological information, when you follow the flow of what the planets are doing, you have this opportunity to move forward in your own evolution, in your own personal growth, in your own healing path based on the opportunities that are present. And they can, those opportunities show up in many, many different areas of life, depending on the planet, the signs involved, the relationship between the planets, and all those things. And so what we've been talking about is these outer planet this coming together, merging of three outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto, because they move very slowly. This is a long process that's taking place, and also it's a process that is felt in the collective. It's not specific or personal to any particular person, although it does show up for each of us in our own particular ways, but it is experienced by everyone living here on Earth. So what's happening is that we've had this conjunction, this coming together that I've been talking about. You can watch some of my other videos for information about the seed time and what's breaking down and what we're planting and how we're making choices about what's going to be created out of this this opportunity for rebirth. So what's happening right now is that Saturn, which has gone into, moved from Capricorn into Aquarius, is now retrograde. So on May 10th, Saturn stationed to change directions and go retrograde. And it's going to retrograde back through the first degree. It's a degree, almost 2 degrees that it's gone through in Aquarius, and now it's going to go back. And so it's going to go back across those 2 degrees and back into Capricorn. So in July, Saturn will head back into Capricorn. So what that means is that we've had this taste of this Aquarian energy, a glimpse of what things might look like when we break out of old molds, when we imagine the future and imagine revolution and rebellion and freedom and a focus that's more on humanitarian goals and missions. And so Saturn's going to go retrograde back into Capricorn. So we've got more work to do here. Now, that's not a bad thing. this, again, you know, all astrological configurations are opportunities. And so this is what this particular opportunity looks like, and what it has to do with the Capricorn energy and the placement of Saturn has to do with what is breaking down our systems, our structures, our institutions. And one thing that is a system or a structure that we have is even the very foundation of how we create and understand reality and what reality is. And so the ways that we define reality, the ways that we decide what's true and not true are also breaking down. So you have this experience of a lot of conflicting stories and truths and different ways of knowing the truth, whether it's scientific or it's a conspiracy theory, or where that information is coming from and who you trust and who you believe. So while some of those things might have been taken for granted, we are now experiencing the breakdown of what it was we took for granted. And so I'm going to be talking actually next week more about conspiracy theories and truth and lies. And so definitely join me next week to go a little deeper into that and what's going on with that. But for this week, recognize that these planets are starting to change directions, going retrograde, bringing the themes into some inner work. And so taking care of yourself, giving yourself time to review, to recap, to go over some of the choices you might have made recently or in the past, and look at those and whether you want to make any different decisions around choices you've made, and changing direction inside of yourself and looking at how you are choosing reality and where you're getting grounded. What is helping you to ground, and looking at that at a deeper level? What's helping you to form trust, to trust more deeply, and to trust yourself, especially as you go forward, and trust that your own inner knowing, your own inner wisdom is what is going to guide you forward. And so checking in with yourself as always. So I'll be back next week to talk more about truth, lies, and conspiracy theories, science, all of it, on my Facebook page with a video. It will also be posted on YouTube, Astrology Heals YouTube channel. Check me out. Astrologyheals.com is where you can sign up for my email updates and reminders, and keep you posted on all the great content that I have. So check it out, astrologyheals.com, and I'll see you next time.